So, removing backgrounds. There was a website called remove.bg which I used in this video when I did it last year, but for some unknown reason they've decided to go down the route of paper image that you want to have converted, which I don't agree with. They started off as a free site. A better option would have been a low grade hobby subscription service, which I would have been happy to pay, but no, they've gone down the route of you've got to buy credits. It's like better value is to spend 35 quid to have something like 40 credits or something, which is just ridiculous. So we're back to Photoshop, and thankfully some of the new facilities that's within Photoshop makes that process a lot better to do. So we're going to do Jon Snow in Photoshop. I'm running Photoshop 21 release within the Adobe subscription, which you can get, I think, with Lightroom to organise all your images for £10 a month, something like that. So we've got our image. It's just a standard Google image. You'll be able to find it. I'll drop the link in if you want to practice with this image. So we've got our quick select tool here, and if you hold the mouse on that block you can see that it shows you what you can achieve with that. But also when you click on that image you now get an option up here to select the subject. So all we're going to do is click that and it'll do its wonderful skill and it will just select the image. As you can see, it's a bit rough. There's bits missing and there's bits of background still in there, but we can alter that. So what we need to do now is we need to mask off all this background, and they've made that even easier. So you click mask and it takes it away. You can still see there's the background in there, but it's very faint. We want to get rid of it altogether, so we just wrap that up to 100% so there is no background. But as you can see, it looks like it's got a bit of a hairnet going on, and we need to get rid of that as well. So in the edge detection section, we've got a radius that detects how wide the edges are that it chooses. So we just slide that up, and as you can see, as I'm going up and up, it's getting rid of all the little bits that was inside. I've gone up too far there because you can see that there's you know, the dark image there of his face, and then the background is too faded. So we just need to come back a little bit. Let the computer catch up with it. I think that's about it, because we are going to convert it for vinyl cutting. So out of interest, I'm just going to click on this smart radius and see what it does. So we're at 58%, 58 pixels there. I'm just going to click that and see what it does. It doesn't tell us what it changed it to, but yeah, that's a better option, I think. Let me see what it takes away. Yeah, because I've actually gone in and took the face, which I didn't see that. So let's have a see. That's probably the same as the smart radius, I would think. Let me click on that again. Oh no, it gives us a bit of hair back. So we'll go with the smart radius, and all we do is click OK, and then we click on mask, and that's it. That's our image done. That we can now export that into Inkscape for converting to a vector image. So we'll go and do that. So we need to convert this now into a vector image, so that we can cut it or add it to processors for 3D printing. So we're going to Path, Trace Bitmap. We've already removed the background, so we don't need to do that again. The more scans that we select, it will give us 8 different layers of grayscale. If we choose 5, then we can pick and choose what we want from that. So we'll just try it on 5 and then we'll do it on 2 or 3, and then you can see what differences are, and you can pick and choose which you feel is better for the process that you're going to be using. So as you can see there, that's got 5. If we ungroup, we'll be able to see each different layer. I don't know why it does it when I'm just recording. I have to keep stopping and starting. So if you was going to 3D print, you could probably use 2 of these or just this one. These are no good for 3D printing unless you were going to print a base layer and then print this in a different colour on top. But as it is at the minute, I don't think that looks very much like that. You wouldn't be able to say just by looking at that that was Kit Harington. So we need to change how many scans it does in between. So I've just regrouped them and moved it to the side. So we'll go put it back up to 8 and we'll do it again and then we'll see. And as you can see now, there's more detail than there is in that one, and we'll ungroup that and then we'll have a look to see what they are. I might keep pausing the video because it don't want to work. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to run out of space. Now we've got the 8 screens there. So basically we need a combination of 2 of them to turn it into a cut file, I think. And you can pop them back on to see which 2 you think are going to work better, and that is personal preference again, how much you want to cut. There we go. And that's how you turn your files into vector images for cutting. And if you were cutting that on a vinyl cutter, you could cut that in 2 colours and just layer them. If you're going to cut it for a 3D printer, then you would probably go down the route of using that image. When you go to export these images from Inkscape, you need to make sure that you click on Save As. So when we export an SVG from Inkscape, we need to make sure that we save it as that's the default setting. So if we save it as an Inkscape, it won't work in some programs, so you need to make sure that you click Play in SVG, and then it will save and import into other programs as well. So always remember, the default setting is a Inkscape SVG, so you need to change it to a plain one so that when you click save, everything is exported as it should be, and it works exactly the same as other SVGs that you've used. If you do use the Inkscape one, some programs just lose bits, or it might refuse to open altogether. So there you have it. That is how to convert an image from a real photograph, get rid of the background in Photoshop and convert it in Inkscape. I hope you enjoyed that and give it a try.